So is everyone in the headset then? Is everyone in game chat? Is everyone in game chat? No, yes, maybe, maybe not. Just gonna check we are live now. Let's just have a check. Yep, we are live. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Motive Racing. We are about to get underway for our Tier 1 race. Sorry about the slightly delay. Unfortunately, my PlayStation did crash when about to start the stream, so the boys have done their qualifying session, and they are going to do a formation lap, get into the right positions, and then they will be racing. This is a 15-minute sprint race. If you did miss the Tier 2 race previous to this, it was very eventful. I managed to move my way up to third. I don't know what's happening currently. It doesn't look good. Really sorry about this, ladies and gentlemen. I don't currently know what's happening. And it does look like we've got a new invite. So like I said, unfortunately we did miss the qualifying session due to having connection issues, and we are going to do a rolling start, and then we are going to go racing for the sprint race for our Tier 1 drivers this evening. So as you can see, we are about to go racing, ladies and gentlemen. The drivers are just putting all their setups in. There is rain forecasted further on in this race, so as to whether they do run wets from the start, we don't know at the moment. Unfortunately, like I did say, we did miss the qualifying session for these drivers due to technical issues. My PlayStation did crash when I tried to start the stream previously, so we're hoping that it does hold through throughout this evening's Tier 1 races. but these boys are going to do a formation lap from the results of their qualifying session. I do have the results here, so I will read them out now. So on pole, the only G with a 1:31.2. 1/10 behind him was Andy. Unfortunately, Andy isn't in the commentary box this evening. He has been let loose on the track, and we hope we can make it round in one piece. But in third, Motoring Morgan. Fourth, Pro Smithy. Fifth, ALTEL. Sixth, Ollie Moore. Seventh, Hovnov. Eighth, Grandad Steve. Ninth, Yonko. 10th, Smoky Devil. And 11th was Falguest. 12th was Swiss Tony. 13th, John Boy. 14th was Malik. 15th was RDJ. And Malik goes racing off the line there. Wanted to get the jump on these boys, as these boys don't look to be knowing what position they're going into. They're weaving all over the track. Hopefully none of them hit each other. There isn't damage on for these Clios though, so it does look like they will be comfortably moving into position. There we go. See, Malik stopped and enabled the only G to get out into that pole position he was meant to be in. There we go. All these boys look to be struggling to do this formation lap, but it does look like it's all piecing together now. And we are about to go racing shortly, bumper to bumper at the moment. These boys all just need to line up behind each other. I don't know what's going on, but they are struggling. So, unfortunately these boys aren't catching up. It does look like the only G is going very slow coming down this back straight at the moment. Let's get the speed up. 30 mile an hour. He's leaving some of these boys behind. What's going on this evening for these tier 1 drivers? We've got a group of about 7 drivers managing to keep up with the only G, and who's holding these boys up behind? I don't know who it is. It might be. Let's jump on board. It's Falguest who's leaving quite a large gap between the drivers in front of him at the moment, and it's slowing these boys down behind. Yonko all over the back of Falguest, trying to ask him to catch up politely. But we are going to watch our leaders as they will come round to the last corner shortly, and we will get underway for this sprint race. So your leader with his lights on at the moment in that Monster Energy livery, the only G, coming round towards the last corner now. There we go, all our drivers getting into formation now, as we are about to go green here for the sprint race for round 2 of our Clio Cup Championship. We are watching our tier 1 drivers, and it does look like we have gone green. The only G getting that launch perfect. Motoring Morgan on the inside of Andy into turn 1. Will Motoring Morgan manage to get up the inside and get it done? It does look like he has done so. So a brilliant start there for Morgan. Pro Smithy all over the back of this group there. Someone just managed to clip that curb behind, and we've got cars all over the show at the moment. I don't know who that was, but they managed to come back on track. I think it was Andy who came back on track unsafely. No one was then in damage, but further down the field we have got cars spinning round. Falguest unfortunately involved in that incident on the first lap of this race. Not the best start for him here at Sugo. Hopefully with 10 minutes to go we will be able to catch back up and get a few points throughout this race. Let's look further up the grid though. Ollie Moore battling it out with a couple of other drivers. He's got Swiss Tony on the inside at the moment. Ollie brakes later, but he outbrakes himself. Swiss Tony and Yonko go up the inside, and Hovnov also. Someone else just spun around in the background. The rain begins to pour here at Sugo, everybody. People are having issues as we are back on board with our second place driver at the moment, Pro Smithy. An absolutely phenomenal start for him. Qualified 4th I think, and is up to 2nd after the first lap of racing. Last night we did see him battling it out, unfortunately finishing 2nd in our GT Championship at Laguna Seca. Is Andy going to go up the inside into the first corner? He's trying to, but Smithy had the drive and manages to defend off Andy. Dylan G showing the pace he has in this Clio. Already 1.5 seconds out in front, as we saw the same sort of thing happening last week for round 1, which was at Rapuna Park. If you didn't miss that, ladies and gentlemen, it is on our YouTube channel where you can watch it again and watch the action which unfolded throughout the evening. We're currently watching Swiss Tony. Let's jump on board and see what he's seeing from his perspective. I did race in the Tier 2 race previous to this evening's Tier 1 boys being out on track, and it was the same sort of conditions, our race being 25 minutes. It did start the same and it did end the same. Unfortunately we did have a lot more rain. I managed to run slick tyres for 20 minutes and then I was all over the place. I was up to 3rd position and then dropped down to 2nd to last just due to spinning out and the car not handling the way I wanted it to. So these boys should be able to run slicks for the 15-minute sprint race here at Sugo this evening. It does look like Pro Smithy is catching up to Dylan G at the moment. Less than a second. He's got half a second that lap. As we see the lap time is there, 1:33.6 from Dylan G and a 1:33.2 from Pro Smithy. We've got 2 drivers in the pits on the sprint race, ladies and gentlemen. So obviously Yonko and Hovnov not happy with slick tyres for this evening's sprint race. This not being mandatory in our sprint race. Only in the feature race there is a mandatory pit stop. So these boys have dropped right down the pecking order. As we see the top 4 there in your picture at the moment. The only G leading the way. Pro Smithy just behind. Andy and Motory Morgan battling out for the last position on the podium. As we come down the back straight once more. Lap 4 beyond, ladies and gentlemen. 7.5 minutes to go. You are joined here at Motive Racing. If you do like what you see, feel free to join our Discord server. I will put a link shortly in the comments, and you can get yourself signed up and possibly be on the grid for next week's race. As we see there, the only G sliding all over the place now. The rain's beginning to pour all over Sugo. Sideways action into the last corner from these top 4 drivers at the moment. We're going to have a look further down the grid. John Boy's off. John Boy is off. Caution into the second last corner. Well, that was brilliant timing there from our cameraman. Ollie Moore now putting pressure onto John Boy into the last corner. As they begin lap 5 shortly, we are going to jump back on board with the battle. 1.5 seconds between these top 4 at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. There is a link to our Discord server in the comments, so if you click that and follow the instructions when you join, you can possibly be on the grid for next week's race, and it will be live streamed just like every other race here at Motive. So it does look like there is a gap forming between Pro Smithy and Andy. LG taking a wider line there. It does enable Pro Smithy to just catch up a little bit more. Coming towards the end of lap 5 into sector 3 we are now. Let's have a look at the track map. So Hovnov and Yomko, as we saw, they did pit. They're currently in sector 1. It doesn't look like they will be getting lapped though in this sprint race. And it looks like there's been an incident, ladies and gentlemen. Motor in Morgan's dropped back 4 seconds now, and Andy's 10 seconds back. So he might have been building sandcastles again in the last corner, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, I didn't catch that on the stream, but we will be asking him after this race what happened on the fifth lap, sorry, of this sprint race. We're going to join back on board though. Less than 5 minutes to go of this sprint race here at Sugo for our tier 1 drivers. This is Smithy's perspective at the moment. He can't see much with that spray coming off the OLG's car. Very close to touching bumpers there. Into the 4th corner. Through the chicane we go once more. Sliding all over the place. Let's jump in the cockpit and see and hear how much throttle Smithy is using. He doesn't have his windscreen wipers on at the moment, so I'm not sure he can see much in that cockpit, especially with the spray coming off the Only G's car. And we just hear there the car locking up and sliding on the brakes. A full drift there from Smithy. I did enjoy this in the tier 2 race for 20 minutes, as I said. And then the only GR race leader has spun it. So as we say there about drifting around the corners, unfortunately just a slight mistake, too much degree I think it was of angle, has put Only G off, and he managed to make a brilliant recovery. Unfortunately lost the position to Pro Smithy, and is down to second. He definitely won't want to be staying in second with only 3.5 minutes to go now of this sprint race. We know the Only G has the pace. We saw it in qualifying, and hopefully he can fight his way back up to Pro Smithy and overtake him in the last stages of this sprint race. Unfortunately, we do not have our previous championship winner for the tier 1 drivers here with us this evening from season 1, JR Lock and Load. Unfortunately incurred an injury in last night's GTE race and unable to race this evening over at Laguna Seca. He is currently in the hospital. We have heard he is okay and he is making a brilliant recovery, but he didn't manage to make it over to Sugo in time for this evening's proceedings. So Pro Smithy going defensive down the back straight. The Only G 9/10 behind him at the back of your picture there with his lights on. Motoring Morgan and AL Tal in 4th position. Further down the pecking order though, there is a battle going on for 10th position. We've got 3 drivers here, ladies and gentlemen, all battling it out. And it doesn't look like there's much grip out there, as I witnessed in the tier 2 race. Everyone sliding through the corners. It is like a British Drift Championship here at Sugo. And Olimar looks to have overtaken Andy now. Olimar's had a brilliant consistent race for the first race of the evening in the Clios. Olimar, our Clio Cup League coordinator here at Motive Racing, so if you do want any help, feel free to message him on Discord. And just behind him he has the whole league coordinator, the league owner, Andy, trying to chase him down. He had such a good qualifying session in 2nd position. Unfortunately a couple of mistakes I think this evening in the sprint race has moved him down to 6th position with 1 minute to go, ladies and gentlemen. It does mean though Andy will be able to qualify for the feature race, with the rule being here at Motive the top 5 unable to qualify, and then they will start from the back. But it does look like, unfortunately, I didn't catch that on stream. I did see it on the timing board though. The only G's managed to catch up to Pro Smithy and get past him now. And I don't know if we will have one more lap. This might be the last lap of the race. We've got 40 seconds left, ladies and gentlemen. In these conditions, I don't know if they will make it across the line in time. We'll have to keep an eye on the timer as the only G is drifting round towards the last corner now. It might just make it across in time. We've got 20 seconds left into the last corner now. Pro Smithy 8/10 behind. And I think he will make it across, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not quite sure at the moment. It's going to be very close as he comes towards the line. And I think that's going to be it. That was the last lap, ladies and gentlemen. It was very close coming across the line. So it was about a 15-minute and 2-second race there. But there we go. The only G takes to win. Pro Smithy second. Motoring Morgan, a brilliant recovery in third position. AL Tal comes across in fourth. A very consistent race for him. Ollie Moore in fifth. And he's coming up now to cross the line in sixth position. He won't be very pleased with that after qualifying second. Swiss Tony comes across the line now as well in seventh. Falguest in eighth. A brilliant recovery after that spin in the first lap. RDJ as well starting at the back of the grid. Another brilliant race from him to finish in ninth. John Boy just behind him in 10th position. Malik coming around the last corner and someone else. Oh, it's Grandad Stee and Malik. A little touch there, I think, as they come around the final corner, but Grandad Steve wins that battle and he's going to take away 11th position. Yonko in the last corner as well, he's going to take 12th. Malik manages to get going again and unfortunately finishes 13th. Hovnov also pitted as well as Yonko, so Yonko's had the better recovery of these two and managed to make his way up to 14th. Smoky Devil, very unfortunate. I don't know what's happened to him towards the end of this race. The slick tyres just mustn't be working for him and his setup this evening in the wet. But I'm pretty sure most of these boys were running slicks as a faster option start to finish. A lot of practice has been done in the last week and it was definitely shown from the boys at the front. We will shortly, before the qualifying session for the feature race, try and get the only G and Pro Smithy in the commentary booth and find out their thoughts of that sprint race and see what they thought. So the results are as followed, ladies and gentlemen. They will come up now. Only G takes the win by 1.1 second, but I think Pro Smithy did have the fastest lap of the race. He did, certainly. So Pro Smithy finished second, Motoring Morgan third, AL Tal fourth, Ollie Moore in fifth. Andy unfortunately moves down to sixth position. Swiss Tony in seventh, Falguest in eighth. A brilliant recovery after that spin, as I said, on the first lap. The same for RDJ, starting at the back of the grid, moved up to ninth. John Boy in 10th, Grandad Stee in 11th, Yonko in 12th, Malik in 13th, Hovnov in 14th. Smoky Devil, unfortunately struggling in that car, finishes last. So a lot of action happened in that first race for our Tier 1 boys this evening. We are going to get underway with the feature race shortly. So we are just about to put the settings in for the feature race now, and during this qualifying session I will try and get the only G and Pro Smithy in the commentary box, so feel free to leave a comment. Any questions you would like to ask them, I can send them across in the commentary booth and try and get an answer from them. So we are about to get underway for qualifying here for the feature race, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to try and get Pro Smithy and the Only G into the commentary booth now. Let us know their thoughts for the sprint race and how they found it out there in the wet conditions. There we go, they have been invited into the commentary booth. We're going to see who's out on track at the moment, and obviously Andy unfortunately unable to qualify this one due to the mistakes he made in the sprint race, but we have heard from the Met Office it is going to be a dry race for our feature. Good evening boys, welcome to the commentary box. So obviously we have seen a good outing for the Team Pro this evening in the Tier 2 race, taking first and second. Smithy out there battling out with a G. What were your thoughts for that one, Pro Smithy?
Oh, not bad, I messed it up, didn't I? You missed it all on stream. I'm really upset about that because I nearly crashed, nearly took G out, but it was alright. 1-2 again.
Cars got stuck together. Yeah, but still, first, second finish, it's good.
This race is going to be fun.
So when you're saying that, Pro Smithy, is that talks of the Only G joining Team Pro as well?
He's already in Team Pro.
Just have to change my name.
Just need to make another account.
Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news on the stream. Top two drivers in the sprint race and the Tier 2 race, both in the same teams. What are your thoughts for the feature race, boys? Obviously, the forecast being it's going to stay dry. Are you going to attack it from the start or try and save some tyres towards the end?
There's a few drivers out there that are a bit wary, I've heard of, so I think I might have to pit early and go from there.
Yeah, there's a lot of left turns in this one as well, so you've got to be careful with some drivers. But,
yeah.
You were struggling with left turns in Tier 2, mate, weren't you?
Well, I was on slick tyres and it doesn't work in the wet, so there's one pointer for you boys.
Yeah, we're on slicks, but Ollie Marr made a brave choice and started on wets.
Yeah,
so
you finished
at the end of the race.
Yeah, you finished pretty well. You finished fifth, I think.
But yeah.
Did well.
Yeah, well done, boys. Good luck in the next race then. Good luck, Team Pro.
Oh, we're a little coming together there, look.
Cheers.
It's been Grandad staying somewhere else. Silly people. I will see you later for my next interview.
See you later, Pro Smithy. See you later, Pro G.
Pro the Only G, my friend.
There we go. There we go. There we go. We were joined there with Team Pro. When it has just been announced, both of them are on Team Pro now. So the top two in Tier 2 this evening were Team Pro, and the same for the sprint race. And he's just coming to a halt there towards the end of his lap. I don't know what's happening. Maybe changing his setup on his hood. Maybe stop to build sandcastles. Hopefully he can get underway, or his anxiety might have kicked in about turning left. We don't know at the moment, ladies and gentlemen, but the first laps have been put in with only a minute and a half to go. Hovnov on provisional pole at the moment with a 1:33.6, pushing that car to the limits. Swiss Tony, our new provisional pole sitter, 2/10 in front of Hovnov. He comes into the first corner again to try once more. This is going to be his final lap. He's going to push the absolute limits now. Trying to improve off that lap time. He's just set a 1:33.4. Brilliant lap time around here in these little Clios. We're getting a lot of lap times coming in now. Someone's just sat there at the side of the track. I don't know who that is. DJ just coming round towards the end of his lap now. We did see him out in the sprint race. A brilliant outing for him. Starting at the back, unfortunately. Managed to move his way up to 9th. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. As I say, a good drive there from RDJ. Provisional pole at the moment, 1.1 in front of his nearest rival. Got Smoky Devil out there, unfortunately not set a lap yet. Let's try and find him out on track. He is coming into the last couple of corners now. Let's see where that puts him. Obviously unable to set a lap up until this point. I think this is going to be his only lap as he comes into the last corner. There we go, a qualifying session finished for the feature race. We're going to put the map on. We can track everyone who is still out on track and see how many drivers we've got left. So Smoky Devil not yet to set a lap. He moves up to second. Absolutely brilliant drive there from Smoky Devil. And let's see who's next to come across the line. It is Grandad C. Grandad C sitting ninth at the moment. It looks like it was an outlap, 10 seconds off the pace. Where's he going to put in? Provisional pole. Absolutely brilliant lap there from Grandad C. 1/10 in front of RDJ. And Andy goes pole now. So it's all happening here at the end of this qualifying session, ladies and gentlemen. And I think that is it. That is everybody. So Andy, our last driver across the line in this qualifying session, takes pole, and he's going to be very happy with that. Hopefully he can have better luck this time. And if you did miss it, ladies and gentlemen, he did have a couple of mistakes in the rain and qualified second and didn't get in the top 5 unfortunately, but it has enabled him to qualify, and as we see him there on pole, he is going to be very pleased with that. We are going to get underway with the feature race. Make sure to stick around, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to just quickly go and get a glass of water. All this shouting is hurting my throat, and I will join you for the feature race shortly. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our new viewers here at Motive Racing. I did just nip down to the hospitality here at Sugo, grabbed a glass of water, and we are about to get underway for our feature race. We are watching our pole sitter for the feature race. We've just finished the qualifying session. Like I say, if you have just joined us, this is going to be the last race of the evening. So make sure to leave your comments who you think is going to win this. It is going to be a 20 lap race with a mandatory pit stop. It does look like we are going to hold off the rain this time. It isn't forecasted. The sun is going to shine. In the sprint race we did see it pour down halfway through. So it looks like we're going to have a brilliant race now. So all drivers are on grid, ladies and gentlemen. They've put their setups in. We are about to go racing. Engines are revving. The lights are about to go green. And we are underway here. Andy gets a brilliant start off pole. He's got RDJ on his inside. We are heading towards the first corner. A slight touch there in the background. I think that's Swiss, Tony and Smoky Devil. Into the first corner goes Andy. An absolutely brilliant start there. And it does look like we're going to stay on board. He does struggle with left-handers. The next couple might be a struggle for him. He does make the first one cleanly though. Will he make the next one? And he does so. Andy, this is absolutely brilliant from you. Into the chicane he goes. And a round of applause there for Andy. 3 left-handers in a row. He manages to make it round. It looks like someone's been stuck up in traffic just behind me. 2 wide through the chicane there. Wow. I didn't think I'd be seeing that this evening. But unfortunately, Pro Smithy stuck on the chicane. I don't know what's happened to him. It doesn't look like it's in a good situation. We are going to jump back to the front though. Smithy looks to have stopped to make a cup of tea or something. We're going to go down the hill for the first time this evening for the feature race. Andy, our race leader at the moment. Please remember, we do have a mandatory pit stop for our drivers this evening in the feature race, as usual here at Motive. And if, like I say, if you do like what you see, ladies and gentlemen, feel free to join our Discord server. We are at the end of lap 1 now. Your race leader, Andy, coming up under a lot of pressure from RDJ as they head towards the finish line up the hill. Andy going defensive across the line. RDJ, we're side by side into the first corner on lap 2, ladies and gentlemen. And it looks like RDJ is out in front and unfortunately doesn't manage to get too far out in front. Andy is on the inside for the next corner. We are still side by side into turn 3. RDJ is on the inside. Andy has to let that one go. And Grandad Stee now giving Andy pressure. I was seeing a comment there from Oliver saying this is a great stream. Just the usual here at Motive, Ollie. We know you're out on the grid. We're going to look further down and see what battles are going on. We're on board with Grandad Stee. A lot of pressure to Andy now. RDJ managed to get that move done on Andy. And we do know where the weakness to Andy is now, so it's slipstreaming. And Grandad Stee will be thinking about that, where he can slipstream and get past. And make his way up to second. So not a good start there for Pro Smith. He's in the pit on lap 2 of this race. And I don't know what's happened. Obviously took second in the first race. We did just have him in the commentary booth, but he's back underway. And Swiss Tony's off, and it looks like there's more people off in the background. The only G is off as well. He's in the wall. Absolutely incredible scenes, ladies and gentlemen. Our sprint race winner was in the wall just. We're going to jump back on board with this battle in the mid pack for 7th position. Ollie Moore at the back of your picture, ALTEL and Swiss Tony just in front. All these boys very safe drivers and professionals here at Motive. Obviously our tier 1 drivers, the best we can get, and it is shown as we join back on board up in front. Lap 3 of this race run now, ladies and gentlemen. RDJ leading the way. Andy just behind our pole sitter for the qualifying session, all over the back of RDJ. Grandad Stee looks happy to just sit there, watch these boys battle and hopefully make a mistake, and hopefully then Smoky Devil can capitalise on that after his dreadful race in the sprint. Unfortunately, it didn't look like he had the right setup in and finished last, and he's having an absolute storm in this race. Falguest in 5th position at the moment. He's having a brilliant race as well. In the sprint race, unfortunately, Span on the first lap managed to move his way up the grid, and he would have been happy with that, but even more happy with the top 5 finish. Falguest is one of the only racers we have in tier 1 on a controller, so he's definitely showing these boys on their wheels how it's done this evening. He's coming under a bit of pressure though from Yomko at the moment on lap 3. They're about to start lap 4 of 20. They've got to remember they do have mandatory pit stops. And Pro Smithy comes in for his mandatory pit stop now then. So he might have had a drive-through penalty. And I don't know what's happened there, but it doesn't say if he did. As the boys now come round to lap him. This battle's still going on for 7th position. ALTEL goes up the inside of Swiss Tony across the line. It does look like he's going to get it done into the first corner. ALTEL moves up to 7th position, and he is on the inside into the first corner. And brilliant slipstreaming taking effect there on lap 4, ladies and gentlemen. There's still battles going on. This is absolutely brilliant racing. So our leaders As I say, on lap 4 now, RDJ leading the way. Managed to get that move done on Andy on into the first corner of lap 2. And he's managed to lead the race since, setting the fastest laps at the moment. RDJ a 1:32.2 previous time round. Sorry, I take that back. The only G setting in 1:31.2, so he's a second quicker than anyone else out on track at the moment, apart from Motoring Morgan. But unfortunately, Motoring Morgan is down in 14th position, so he's not having a good race either. Got a little battle going on further down the grid as well. Hovnov and Malik. These boys look to have not had the best starts, both of them with a bit of damage as they come down the hill into the long hairpin. Yomko now looking to chase down Falgast as they're about to start lap 5. But it is all about this battle at the front at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. Let's jump on board with Andy. Andy's lost a position then on that lap. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we did miss that. And Grandad Steve's managed to get past Andy then in the closing stages of that lap. Grandad Steve slides there. Unfortunately, Andy had nowhere to go. A slight little tap. But these boys managed to get away with it. It does enable, though, Rob to get that gap of a 1.2 seconds now. If these boys carry on battling, Rob will run away into the distance. So a message there from Pro Smithy. I've just had his clutch wasn't working, he's had to disconnect his wheel, so possibly Pro Smithy is racing on a controller for this evening's feature race. One of the perks of sim racing is the downfalls you get with it as well, which include, like we've just seen there, Pro Smithy's wheel disconnecting. And we saw this this evening before we managed to get the stream started. My PlayStation did crash, and it didn't enable us to stream the qualifying for these boys in the sprint race, and that's why we had a formation lap. But RDJ, as we come across the line to start lap 6 now, is 1.2 seconds in front of his nearest rival. So obviously that slide into the fourth corner, sorry, from Grandad Steer has enabled him to get that small gap. Further down the grid though, Yomko under a lot of pressure from oh no, that's Falgas under a lot of pressure from Yomko, sorry. Into the third corner they go. Is Yomko going to try to make a move on this lap? Possibly get away? This is the only driver which is holding him up at the moment. There is a gap from him to Smoky Devil. Is Smoky Devil going to be able to slipstream? It doesn't look like this time round. He is going to get past Falgast down the hill and into the hairpin. They're going to stay in the same positions at the moment. Ayaltal just sitting behind Yomko at the moment. He had a brilliant race in the sprint, and it has enabled him to move up to 7th position at the moment. Oliver just behind him as they come towards the closing stages of lap 6. And our race leader is in the pits, and it doesn't know he's messing with these drivers behind. He definitely messed with me. It did look like he was going in the pits, and he's just trying to play with these drivers, see if they will pit. But it doesn't look like it's working at the moment. Grandad Steve still happy to sit behind. So we have got John Boy in the pits as well for his mandatory pit stop at the moment. So there we go, he's off again and out of the pits. He's going to do 13 laps now, as we are back on board. Our race leader RDJ, Grandad Steve just behind him, and Andy. As we see them coming around the last corner now, is RDJ going to pit this time around? We don't know, ladies and gentlemen. He is trying to mess with these drivers' heads. He's trying to do it again. Or is he just going to go defensive into the first corner? He knows this is where people can slipstream as he comes back onto the race line into turn 1. Hey, I'll tell him the pits now with the only G just behind him. So both of these coming in for their mandatory pits. Our race 1 winner, Pro the only G. He did get announced in the interview previous to this race that the only G is now signed for the Pro team. Obviously those boys representing in tier 2, taking the 1-2 as well, and we saw the same in the sprint race for our tier 1 drivers. So they're definitely setting an impression this evening. Back out in front, Grandad Steve losing a little bit of time there, running wide through that long hairpin. RDJ looking very comfortable at the moment. In these dry conditions, these boys can push a lot, and RDJ sliding that car around the last corner. Up the hill they go once more to start lap 9 of this feature race. So Grandad Steve goes in for the pit stop this time around. He might think he's stuck behind traffic, which is the RDJ. Will he be able to get the jump on him when RDJ does pit? We don't know at the moment. If you are watching this, ladies and gentlemen, and you like what you see, feel free to join our Discord server. There is a link in the live comment section, and you can possibly get signed up, be on the grid for next week, or even we do have on Friday the GT5 Championship, which is going to be at Oschersleben. That starts at 7 PM British summer time. Then on Saturday we have our Super Saturday, the same as last week. We do have the GT3s at 5 PM. That's going to be at Donington Park. At 7 PM then we have the LMP2s. On Sunday we have again our USA League, which is IndyCars and NASCARs. The same time again, I think is 8 PM on a Sunday, that is British summertime again. And then back to Monday we have the GTEs again, which if you did miss last night, ladies and gentlemen, it is uploaded to our YouTube channel. You can go and watch that for the second round of the championship. And back to Tuesday we're going to be in the Clios again for round 3. So yeah, feel free, if you are playing on PlayStation, guys, click that link, get yourself signed up, and we're more than welcome to accommodate for any ability of driver here at Motive. We're all about improving and helping each other become better sim racers. RDJ there just going defensive again into the first corner, and it does look like Andy's managed to close that gap on lap 10 now, ladies and gentlemen, and we are about to be halfway through this race here at Motive. Swiss Tony also in the pits now as he moves down the pecking order. Foulguest. It does look like Yomko's managed to get past then. Unfortunately we didn't manage to catch that overtake, as he just comes up to the chicane now on lap 10. So at the moment our provisional race leader, Grandad Steve, the furthest up the order at the moment, that has taken his mandatory pit stop in 7th position. We're going to have to keep an eye on him. We're going to put the track map up and see where he will be on track when our leaders do take their mandatory pit. As as they come round the last corner once again. Is any of them going to pit? Does Andy feel like he is being held up by RDJ? Maybe Grandad Steve thought the same, and hopefully he thinks he will get the lead. So we have got RDJ in the pits this time, and no we don't, ladies and gentlemen. RDJ comes across the lines there. I don't think that's very sportsmanlike to use the track lines, but no incidents did happen, and we will allow it here at Motive. It's enabling exciting racing, as RDJ still in the race lead, and Andy looks like he's got nowhere to go. In Andy's position at the moment, I personally would take that mandatory pit stop. He doesn't want to be stuck behind our race leader. We've got a few cars in the pits though, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Smoky Devil, we have got Yonko, and we have got Falguest. So Grandad Steve goes past all of them into the first corner, and it does look like the only people we are going to have to watch is our race leaders at the moment, as they come down the hill once more into sector 2. Andy unfortunately not able to turn left the best. We know he did touch the grass there, but he is all over the back of RGJ. A brilliant line there from Andy through the hairpin. As we see, Andy does have the pace. We saw it in qualifying, but Andy definitely not the best strategy this evening. He should have pitted early, as he takes the race lead now into the last corner. Maybe RDJ is going for his mandatory pit to let off a little bit, just to give himself the space, and it doesn't look like it. Both of them going on to start lap 12. Our new race leader this lap, ladies and gentlemen, Andy, our lead coordinator. Please comment down below, guys, who you think's going to take the win this evening for our tier 1 drivers in their feature race. We are watching our provisional race leader at the moment, Andy, but it in 4th position, 25 seconds back. We have Grandad Steve, who is at the top of the pecking order, who has taken his mandatory pit stop. These boys out in front haven't at the moment, so we are going to keep our eye on that. Olimar just coming out of the pit stop now onto the track. It just looks like we might have a 4-car battle going on as he comes round out of the pits. Very close there to the only G, but both of them managed to get away safely. And Ollie straight on the attack, straight past the only G. He runs a little bit wide there, has to give the position back up to the only G. A slight touch, and Ollie there just slows down, and he doesn't. So some unsportsmanlike behaviour there from the only G. He did cause contact, and he unfortunately didn't give the position back. So definitely think the steward will be looking into that one. But further up now, Andy, our race leader, comes across the line to start lap 13. RGJ's lost a lot of time over the last couple of laps. Obviously was leading into lap 11, and towards the last corner of lap 11 we had a new race leader, Andy, and he is now sitting 2 seconds in front of RGJ. But it is all about our man in 4th position at the moment. Where is he going to come out after our race leader has pitted? And we've got a comment there, Jack Alpha, welcome to the stream, mate. Grandad Steve for the win, I think. The only G on a podium as well. So thank you for letting us know your thoughts, Jack. Like I say, we are going to keep an eye on Grandad Steve. He chose, I think, the best strategy this evening to not be stuck behind the 2 race leaders, battling it out, get in the pits early, and have some clear track out in front of him. As we see now, the closest car to him is 3 seconds in front, Motoring Morgan, and I don't think he has pitted yet. I stand corrected though, I don't know if Motoring Morgan has pitted at the moment, so he might be our provisional race leader as well. Is Andy going to go for his pit stop this time around? It doesn't look like it. He isn't on the inside of those white lines. As he comes across the line to start lap 14 now. And this battle's still going on for 6th position, ladies and gentlemen. 5th position, sorry. So this is for the last position in the top 5. We've got 4 cars all within a second and a half. So these boys definitely having a brilliant race. We're going to jump on board with Smoky Devil, the car at the back of this group, and see from his perspective what he's seen. He has got a small gap up to Ollie Moore just in front, but that might come to his benefit if these boys start tangling, or if they do crash. Comment there from Jack as well. You're not drunk, lol. Unfortunately I'm not, mate. I have been sober for 2 days. That is some breaking news, and unfortunately I've run out of cider, so I might have to start a GoFundMe. And a touch there from Ollie Moore. He spins the only G, so very unfortunate. Like I said, Smoky Devil would take advantage of that, and some more unsportsmanlike conduct from the only G, not the only G, sorry, Ollie Moore. Obviously the only G involved in that incident again, and not Ollie Moore. But Smoky Devil setting new personal best laps at the moment, so the only G moves down to, and it looks like he's had to retire his car, unfortunately. So the only G is not going to be happy with that. His car not in a fit state to race anymore. Gulpinator, much better commentary when you're not plastered. Well, mate, it does make for a more exciting commentary, I think, when I don't really know what I'm saying, but at least you're not hearing me gulping. Yeah, we've got 14 viewers at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. Please feel free to leave a like and a subscribe. We are going to be back live on Friday for our GT5 Championship. And at the moment we do have no likes, so please guys, go and sort that out for me. We have got 15 viewers, like I say, so we need those 15 likes. And comment who you think is going to take this one. Like I said, Andy and RDJ yet to take their mandatory pit stops. I don't know about Motoring Morgan. Unfortunately I didn't see him go in the pits. Possibly has pitted. We're watching this battle though. Smoky Devil on 2 wheels through the chicane, runs wide. Ollie Moore will take that position. But as I was saying, we don't know if Motoring Morgan has taken his mandatory pit stop. We do know Grandad Steve has. Grandad Steve was up at the front battling with Andy and RDJ. He took the easier option and went in the pits early. Just you, I would have commented with you. Now I've realised who you are. I've actually read your second name properly now, Jack. You're Pro Alpha. Now I've realised. I don't know why that never clicked in, but yeah, let me know next time, mate. I'm happy for you to join me in the commentary booth. It would be much easier than just talking to myself. But yeah, always welcome to have new commentators here, and glad you're watching the stream, mate. Obviously I had an absolutely brilliant race earlier on. I can get you in the commentating booth if you want a interview about the tier 2 race and possibly your thoughts on this one. If you'd like that, mate, let me know. I can send you an invite into the commentary booth here at Sugo. We are starting lap 16, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching the battle, which has been going on for a few laps now, between Smoky Devil and Ollie Moore. Unfortunately, the only G was involved in an incident a couple of laps ago between him and Ollie Moore. He's had to retire that car. He was our sprint race winner. But Andy coming round towards the end of lap 16 now, yet to take his mandatory pit stop along with RDJ. And it looks like he is going to come up on some lapped traffic. Maybe this might slow him down. The same with RDJ. He has overtaken our second place driver in the sprint race. If you did miss it, ladies and gentlemen, he did announce to me that his wheel did disconnect after the start, I think, and it has forced Smithy to be off the pace massively as he gets lapped by our race leaders. But further down the order, Swiss Tony unfortunately disconnects there. This battle's still going on between Smoky Devil and Ollie. Well, we've got another battle going on there between John Boy and H2 Malik. coming towards sector 2 of lap 16. A comment there from the only G, that was awful. I can get you in the commentary booth if you'd like, G, to let you know your thoughts on this evening. Obviously you did win the sprint race. Unfortunately, I don't really know what happened. Yeah, if you want to get in the commentating booth, we can have a chat about your thoughts of the feature race. Obviously started at the back, tried to fight your way up, and it did look like some contact ended your race, and definitely ended your car. Yeah, Alpha mate, no worries. Let me know if you want to commentate anytime soon. We are looking for commentators. If anyone has seen it on the Facebook page, we did post it up, and we are looking for a couple more commentators, because I'm sure not everyone likes a Stokey accent. But there we go, John Boy coming across the line. Just behind him he's got Malik, 8 tenths behind. They're starting lap 17. So our race leader is in the pits now, so we're going to join on board with Grandad Steve as he comes towards the last corner now. He is heading into the last corner. Ladies and gentlemen, look on the track map on your right, just past the checkered flag we have got coming out now, I think. So both cars are stationary. RDJ gets away first, and Andy looks like he's just fixing damage, so both of our drivers are away. Grandad Steve just coming up the hill now. It looks like he might get the jump. Motoring Morgan, I think, is going to be our provisional race leader. I think Motoring Morgan must have pitted at this point. He wouldn't pit this late in the race. And it's very close. Andy still our race leader here at Motive in the feature race. Wow, so Andy managed to get past RDJ at the mid stage, and someone spun off there. But as we were saying, Andy managed to get past RDJ at the mid stage of this race, and has powered on to improve that pace massively, and Grandad Steve unfortunately left in the dust. So it did look like, as I said, Grandad Steve might have had the best pit strategy, but definitely not the best pace. Andy's got the most pace, as we see our race leader. He might have had the best pit strategies as well, taking the later option. RDJ followed him in, hoping to jump him in the pits, get back out in front. But Motoring Morgan in between these pair now, and hoping to catch up to Andy in the closing stages of this feature race this evening. And the battle looks to still be going on between Smokey Devil and Ollie this evening in the feature race. These boys have been at it for a long time this evening, battling it out, changing positions for a long time. Pro Smithy, obviously we've got the pro team watching at home, did a brilliant race in the tier 2. Pro Smithy unfortunately got his wheel disconnected at the start of this feature race. Came second in the sprint race, he'll be pleased with that, but he definitely wouldn't be happy with being in 10th position this evening in the feature race. Back up at the front though, ladies and gentlemen, we are on lap 19, about to come at the end of this feature race unfortunately. Andy, our race leader, just behind we've got Motoring Morgan, and in 3rd position RDJ. RDJ led most of this race. Unfortunately his pit strategy might not have been as fast as Andy's. He was hoping to go in the pits at the same time as Andy and try and get the jump on him, and it just didn't work. So as they come towards the end of lap 19 now, they are going to start the last lap shortly. Let's have a look down the order. So Ollie and Smokey, as I said, still battling it out. Grandad Steve in 4th position. He's got RDJ 8 seconds up the road, so it doesn't look like he's going to catch up to him. He's got lap traffic in front of him as well. Falgas not having the best race again this evening. 9th position for him at the moment. Maybe that pit strategy wasn't right for him as well, but he's doing us proud on that controller, and showing up some of these boys on their sim rigs. And it looks like Pro Smithies might have got another position. In the background there we just see 2 drivers cutting the lawn, coming out of the hairpin onto the, not the hairpin, sorry, coming out that right-hander onto the straight downhill. And the only G's thoughts this evening, unfortunately we can't get him in the commentary booth. He is on his way back home and preparing for the GT5 race, as we saw him win last week. So he is on his way home to practice for that race on Friday. But his thoughts for this evening, I got taken out by at least a quarter of the field. Apparently he got a magnet attached to his car, so the mechanics will not be pleased with the damage incurred this evening, and he will be definitely looking at it. But gee, if I do have space on my PlayStation, I will definitely save the replay for you to look at after this. As we see coming across the line shortly into the last corner, our race leader, and it does look like Andy is going to take the victory here for the feature race at Sugo. Our tier 1 driver's coming across the line. Andy 3 attempts behind him. He does have Motoring Morgan in. It doesn't look like Motoring Morgan's going to get it done. Unfortunately, Andy is our race winner, so we're going to try and get Andy into the commentating booth, as well as Motoring Morgan. Let's get those boys in and see their thoughts this evening. But let's just see how everyone's doing behind as they come across the line. AR Tal takes 5th position this evening. Ollie in 6th position comes better off from that battle with Smokey Neville. Yomko comes across in 8th. Falguest in 9th. He comes around the last corner now. Pro Smithy, a good recovery from himself to take 10th position this evening. Is still points at the end of the day, and that's the only thing you can say good about this evening's feature race. Unfortunately, as we say, his wheel disconnected, and it didn't mean he could drive, so he must be on a control at the moment, and he's up to 10th. HG Malik coming away in 11th. Into the last corner he goes. John Boy in 12th. And Hovnov unfortunately bringing up the back of the grid. So we are going to try and get Andy and Motoring Morgan in the commentating booth and see what their thoughts were for the feature race this evening. If you like what you see, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, please join our Discord server. An absolutely brilliant race for those boys there. So the results are Andy takes the victory by 0.2 to Motoring Morgan. Both of them had different pit strategies. Unfortunately, we didn't see Motoring Morgan pit. We have got Andy in the commentating booth. Well done this evening, Andy. An absolutely brilliant pit strategy from yourself. Led the race, most of it. Unfortunately, RDJ didn't manage to get the jump on you in the pits. And a brilliant job from yourself.
Thank you very much. Yeah, got a good start to the race-ish. I mean, unfortunately, RDJ got around the outside of me in the first stint. I think it was lap 4 or 5. He went around the outside through the S section in the first sector. So from that point, it was really just about saving the tyres for the first part of the race. I sat behind RDJ for a few laps. Steve managed to get past me as well, which was difficult. And it looked like Grandad Steve was sort of like Rob's wingman in a way, but anyway, after a few laps Steve came into the pit, and then I got quite lucky. Rob made a little bit of a mistake coming out of the second to last corner, and he appeared to get off the gas. I don't know if maybe
we did see that on the stream. He did lose about 2 seconds within 1 lap to you, so I don't really know what happened there. But we have got Morgan in the pit, in the commentating booth now. Obviously chose to pit early and came out better on top of Rob. Just got him out of the pits and managed to finish second. How was that for you, Morgan?
Yes, thank you, Badger. That was a very good race. I should say, pissing on lap 1, get out of traffic, getting some nice clean air, and that worked well against me this week.
Yeah, one of the better strategies. We were watching Grandad Steve throughout the race, obviously up there with you at the front, as you said, Andy, and I did think he chose the better strategy to pit early and not be battling with you and our RDJ, but obviously you were the one with the better pace this evening and did take the win.
Yeah, it was. Well, Morgan has a slightly better pace than me overall. His fastest lap I think was 3/10 up on mine, but I suppose consistency was the key, and Rob was setting a blistering pace up front. That's the thing that maybe wasn't clear on the stream. I wasn't really being held up. I would say I was just sat in his slipstream and saving tyres, but the pace he was going at was difficult, and steer as well. So well done to those guys. I'm just lucky today that I managed to pounce on Rob's mistake and put out that gap when it was needed.
Yeah, well done. Obviously, this being a clockwise track, you didn't really struggle too much with the left-handers, and we hope, obviously, the driving school you have been at has shown it has improved your driving. So, well done this evening, Andy.
Well, Rob did overtake me for a left-hander, so what you're saying makes sense.
Yeah, well, we do like to improve drivers here at Motive. If you are beginning to sim racing, as we've seen, Andy in season 1 unfortunately made a couple of mistakes in races, and as you see there, ladies and gentlemen, he took the win this evening, and we would like to see more drivers like himself progress through the grid up to the top step.
I've been commentating for weeks and weeks and not racing, so I was out of practice at the time, but now I'm fully up to date with my racing. So hopefully mistakes like that won't come into play anymore this season.
Yeah, unfortunately here at Motive we do not allow excuses, and the truth is Andy was not a safe driver in season 1. Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Join us on Friday for the GT5 Championship. We will be live